Hello friends and welcome to my channel. My name is EJ Marino and I am so excited to dive into a brand new review. I am jumping into Lovecraft Country Episode 2, Whitey's on the Moon. You know, when I said that first episode was weird, I had no idea Episode 2 was even stranger. We're diving into this show head first. They're not even giving us, when you would go to the pool and dip your toe into the water just to see what it would feel like? Not Lovecraft Country. They are diving in crazy in the deep end, giving you all the wacky weirdness. This episode had so much in it. I thought we were going to kind of continue the story at the pace that it was going. It was pretty fast in the first one, but this episode showed that Lovecraft Country is doing something different. Each episode almost feels like it's going to be a different horror type of story, because I go to the preview for episode 2 and it's giving me a ghost house kind of vibe, where this one was all about weird cults and ancient religions and all that, and that first one was a creature feature. So I'm curious to see if each episode is going to be like a love letter to different genres, which is something Lovecraft did himself in his books. There would be a lot of genre bending, and that's what this episode especially gave me. There was elements of fantasy, like pure magic, but then there's weird sci-fi stuff, there's a biblical aspect, and then there's still classic horror references, classic references to the black community and black culture. So I am just overall amazed at this second episode. It's a little wacky and it's a little weird. Yes, they jumped the shark a little bit, but in my world, baby, we can jump the shark as quick as we want, because that's what's the fun about TV shows. It's jumping into a new world each time. Now, I don't know how I'll feel after episode 3, because this was a stressful hour in itself, but I am just curious of where the hell they're gonna go, because this was a major shift for the show already. So the episode starts and our two characters, George and Letty, are kind of getting used to this like weird house that they stumbled upon during their crazy night. So they're here, they're getting changed, there's specific books that are there for George. All of the clothes fit Letty. They're pretty okay with this, but Atticus is like, yo, this is strange. What is going on? And they start trying to figure out what's happening in this mansion with the weird blonde cult alien-like people that are there. They're not aliens per se, and we don't even know, but they give me this very like robotic, they don't know how to act like humans. So yeah, we have a lot of them going on. We meet William, who is like a butler, assistant, lover to somebody else as well. So yeah, we meet these people and we're starting to see that they're meant to be in this house. There's a reason that they stumbled upon here, why they were in the woods, why they ran into the sheriff. It's been all a plan by this weird organization, and I'm kind of into that. I'm kind of into George being the center, the foundation. All of this is happening. They're all pretty happy, and Atticus is like, hey, what's going on? George is, I like what Courtney B. Vance is doing there with his like, okay, I'm having a fun time, but I'm still the curious, what's happening? He's into the fantasy of this all, and then starts breaking, where we have Letty, who's full on enjoying herself, trying to have a good time and not deal with the stress. And she's like, when do white people like open your arms? And Atticus is like, for real, when do white people open their arms like this? What the hell is happening? So I love the dynamic of all three of them, where we have Letty on this side and we have Atticus on this side, and then George is right in the middle. It's such a good dynamic, and it really kind of gives you they want to have a good time, they want to enjoy this place, but I don't think this place is going to enjoy them, especially when they meet that weird redneck sheriff lady who feels like a Taryn Manning character. She was something else, and I do not know what this fully means. Even when they try like explaining it later with like the backstory, and well, here is like the Titus character, and he was this crazy man, and he was trying to do all this, and I'm like, I get it. I don't get it, but it makes sense when you're explaining it, kind of. Yeah, it was a strange thing, but I just really enjoyed this first act when we see all of them trying to figure themselves out, trying to escape. We have the memory issues as well. We'll get into that in a little bit, but overall, I really like this intro because it set the mood, and it set the mood for something I did not believe, because when two people get shot at the end of this episode, I had no idea. This episode definitely dives into the occult more, especially when we meet Samuel, who is this guy who is trying to redo the Adam and Eve story to bring back paradise because Adam was like a perfect person, blah blah blah. I can't even get, you could give me the plot summary right here and I don't even know if I could explain it, but it definitely dives into a very different atmosphere. We start seeing Atticus has a attachment to the Titus and the Samuel character, and he starts flexing that power later on. But yeah, I just overall really like the stuff that's going on here. It's weird, it's intriguing, it's definitely culty. I thought they were just doing a Lovecraft obsessed cult, where I thought they were trying to build Lovecraft monsters. It is way deeper than that. Though it seems like we'll be seeing different like pockets of this little cult, because they said this was like the people of Adam and we might have a different one. So we're going to see this whole organization really unfold throughout this show, and I really like that. But when this little one, it was very culty. It was very like, we have the biblical background. Now, will every one of them be like that, or was it just this group? I am so curious on that, because the Samuel character was cool. He didn't last long, and Tony Goodwin's little appearance in this was very good, and I really enjoyed him. But I'm just very curious of where this plays into the overarching story. I don't know if we have like 8 or 10 episodes, but are we done with these characters? Will we return to them? We can't really return to the mansion because we'll talk about that later. But yeah, I'm curious of what the hell is happening, because we definitely went into the more occult thing where we started seeing that like Letty and George can have their memory erased of all the monsters that are attacking them, and then when all their memories hit them again, it's so strange. We also have weird portal magical doors, like when they're each in their own individual room, we have people watching them, and Letty's getting attacked and George is having a weird flashback to the thing, and Atticus is having a weird flashback or whatever war he was in. It was just so weird. It's just so deadly, and what this house can do and the stuff. And again, I really like this, and I thought the whole show was going to be set in this house, and they said by the end, oh no, there ain't even going to be a house for you to come back to. Something I really enjoyed in this episode is the really great acting. It was amazing to see Courtney B. Vance and to see Jurnee Smollett-Bell just really have moments here. Oh my goodness. There's a moment where Letty kind of lets her character down a little bit, and we get to see a little bit more of her, and she's opening up to Atticus. Well, like a fake Atticus, but if you've seen the episode, you know what the hell I mean. So yeah, we really get to see them open up a little bit. Same thing with George's character when he's like investigating things, giving me like Scooby-Doo realness, like putting doors and finding trap doors, and just when he's like, oh god, when he figures out the rules of the cult as well, and like, yo, let me read you your bylaws, and I'm like, yes, give it to me. I really like that scene where we figure out Atticus is attached to these people more than we would ever think. He's like an original descendant of these people, and blah blah blah. And it's just so funny when Atticus is like, when George is like, let's talk about the rules, all of you guys can get the hell out. I enjoyed that so much, and these are just two great actors. We also introduce, other than Tony Goodwin, another actor. Michael K. Williams is just, in the small time he was in this episode, was just fantastic. He's playing Atticus's father that they've been looking for. Did not think we would find him this fast, though it seems like he is replacing a character that we unfortunately do not have anymore. But yes, I was just very like, we are introducing good, powerful actors. The moment where he's like, when Michael K. Williams is like getting out of the dirt, and he's just like, I'm free. And then they're like, we were here to help you, and you were just doing it yourself. It's those little moments. It's this weird house. This whole episode was a lot to handle, but it was just so damn entertaining. So let's dive into the end of this episode. When they're trying to escape the weird mansion, we see like the Samuel character just straight up shoot Letty, and we're like, oh my goodness, what's happening? We also see him shoot somebody off screen. We soon find out that it was George's character. What the hell is happening with this ending? And we also have this weird, we knew Atticus's mother, from what we learned in the story in this episode, was a slave who ran free from this house, and she went on to have Atticus after getting impregnated by the person who was running this, Titus. And it's okay, we have that. We also see him redo his mother's story, after he fights the cult here and tries to break free and try to do all that. He's running through the house, and there's this amazing scene where he's following his mother's path and just showing that he's going to be the new generation of the story, the new person to help this all out. I thought that was such a great, like, beautiful shot of him just following her out of the house, and once he's there in safety, she just disappears. He was like a guy, she was a guideline for him, and I just thought this ending, as insane as it was so rooted in something, and that's what Jonathan Majors is adding to this show. He is such a good addition, and I'm amazed by him. I am utterly amazed as him as the lead. He's the rock of the show. As much as, we had drama with Letty, we introduced a new character, we may have lost George, all of that was happening, but I'm still okay with that because of the center, the performance at the center, what he's doing, what he's offering. It's just really good. This was a crazy episode, but I don't know if I would have liked it as much if it wasn't for Jonathan Majors being the center, the rock of the show. Where do we go from here? The second episode was so wild that I don't know what you can do for episode 3, but I am intrigued. I am enjoying Lovecraft Country so much. But what do you guys think of it? What do you guys think of this episode? What do you guys think of this review? Let me know down in the comments below. Subscribe to my channel because I make videos like this every single week. Like, if you want to see me do these weekly Lovecraft updates, I did mine in the morning because I had to sleep on this episode. It was a lot. So if you guys like this, make sure you guys subscribe. Give me a thumbs up if you did enjoy this video. And let's talk about Lovecraft Country episode 2 down below.